All right, here's a clip from the Land Podcast with Danny Thompson sharing the top 3 things he looks at when he's looking to buy a piece of ground. Hope you guys enjoyed this clip and learned something. Here we go.
There just was nothing else on the market, and I'm like, okay, I can do this again. So at least this place in Wisconsin, it needs work. It was a sugar maple or a maple sugar farm or whatever. And so there's a lot of like the lines running
syrup?
through it. Yes, they farm syrup on that place.
That's cool.
And but there's power on it. It's in a bad spot, but at least the power is there. It's on a dead end road. It's in an amazing spot. It's in the bluff country. And so at first I wasn't super excited about it, but now as I've been starting to go there and I met some of the neighbors now, I'm super pumped about it. I got great neighbors. It's giant landowners all around it. It's pretty much the same situation I had going on up in Otter Tail County. It's just this one's over in Wisconsin.
Funny how sometimes in a market like that, it's like, it's a great time to sell. So that's great. But then like on a buying side, it's a little bit more competitive than maybe what you want. But like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like you got to pick one or the other.
Absolutely. And I tried to be, there was some good stuff that I found, like, Trempealeau County is another great spot to look for deer hunting land. I looked at a couple farms there, but the access was so bad. And it's like, you try not to be too picky because it's like, they say, my Chad was kind of giving me the example where like, you got a volleyball, right? There's all these pieces that make the volleyball. Mm-hmm. And like, sometimes you try to get as many of them as you can, but you can't get them all. When you're looking at buying land. And that was kind of the deal. Like I wanted a little bit more tillable ground. I wanted some bluffs. I wanted, some of that kind of stuff, but the access was terrible. And I'm like, you got to pick up the top 3 things that like, these are the must haves. And so unfortunately, like that property just had to rule out because it just one of the main things, access, which I need because I got to camp there. Right. So I'm willing to buy something as far as 2 hours, 2.5 hours away. But if that's the case, I got to be able to camp there. So not having that ability, I couldn't go after that piece.
And so to reiterate, what were your 3 non-negotiables?
I wanted it within 2.5 hours. I wanted it in Southeast Minnesota or in kind of that I-94 corridor. Like I want it in a big buck spot. Mm-hmm. I really wanted something because I want to be able to buy and sell land a couple of times. I really wanted something that, not that I'm getting a deal on, like I'm okay with paying market value, but something that I can add value to.
Sure.
For example, I looked at a piece in Buffalo County and it was done. Like there's nothing more I can do. It had redneck stands up. It had all the water holes in, trails. I mean, everything was there. And so like the only thing I could do with that is, time in the market. Mm-hmm. And so, in 5 years, it might be worth a little bit more money, but I can't add that big amount of value to it by, I bought a tractor. And so, doing a bunch of the work into putting in food plots or trails or water holes or just any of that stuff to add extra value and build the properties up. I was trying to find kind of that diamond in the rough again. So that was a key for me. It might not be for everybody. Like the guy that bought my place up north, he couldn't be more happy. Like there's deer there, it's established, there's a management plan already going. Yeah. Like it's turnkey and he can add a lot to it yet. But it was essentially turnkey. I don't want that. I want something where I gotta tear an old house down or something that I can put some elbow grease and some work into and then turn it into something in the future.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so you went from an 80. Do you mind sharing what the size of this one was roughly?
Yeah, so actually I got another 80, so stayed with the same amount of acreage. But the cool part with this one is it's only an hour and about 25 minutes away from my house versus 2 hours and 45 minutes. So a lot closer. It's in the bluff country. And the cool part is it's not far outside of like Hudson, Wisconsin or Menominee, Wisconsin. So there's a lot of people that are buying houses or buying land in that area, putting houses on it. It just has a track record for bigger deer. Mm-hmm. There's no wolves there, which was a huge key. I wanted to get kind of out of that wolf country.
Was there wolves where you were previously?
They were like at the neighbors, but not my place type of thing. So in where I was is it's kind of that fringe of like where the prairie starts to meet the woodlands. And so if you were to go north of me about 3 miles, there was wolves and there was quite a few and they're just starting to move there, and so like I got a picture of a wolf like once in the 4 years I was there, but they were like around. The neighbors would get them once in a while. And it's like, I remember being a kid and I hunted a spot where there was no wolves and then they started to move in and it's like, it just snowballs from there. And I'm like, I just want to get out of that. area. I wanted to get back to Bluff Country. I want to keep my lease down south in southeast Minnesota. Now my lease is probably like an hour drive, from
nice.
my land to my lease versus about a 4.5 hour drive. So I can hunt
That's huge.
essentially the same stuff the same day, which is awesome.
Yeah, 2 different states too.
Yes.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. My name is Jake Hofer, and I'm a real estate agent out of the state of Illinois, and it's my goal to help 100 people buy their first farm. Been doing that with the Land Podcast and clips like this every single Thursday and Saturday that are released here on the channel. And to be one of those 100 people, all you have to do is, if you're in the state of Illinois and I can help you, I'd be happy to do so. Number 2, if you want to get connected with someone that can help you, reach out and I'll be happy to get you in contact with an agent that I would personally do business with. And the last one is, if you just simply learn something from the content we're putting out, or you get inspired to take action, I want to know, get you out of that spreadsheet. I'm on a mission to help 100 people. Until next time, see ya.